Strategy and strategic planning in the 21st century, the organization and the environment. Strategy and strategic planning provide us with a process of looking at our organization and its environment, both today and in the expected future, and determining what we as an organization want to do to meet the requirements of that expected future. This process of strategic analysis and building a coherent strategy is more critical today than it has ever been before. So, the strategy and strategic planning, there is an old saying, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Research supports this saying and confirms the importance of planning. So, strategy and strategic planning, some managers complain that they don't have time to plan. Yet, research shown that managers who plan are more effective and efficient than non-planners. So, the HRM is a critical component of strategic planning because without the right people, with the right types of education, skills, and mindset, we cannot expect to accomplish the objectives that we set for ourselves. The environment has two parts, internal and external. So the external environment consists of a series of influences that originate outside the organization and that the company cannot control. Each of these forces acts on firm and causes the firm to have to change and adapt, usually in the form of strategic responses to environmental changes. The 9 major forces originating in the external environment. So first is a customer. Without customers, there's no need for an organization. Therefore, companies must continually improve product and services to create value for their customers. So, this process of product improvement requires skilled employees who are willing to use their creativity to add to the organization knowledge, and they will create new product and services for customers. And the second is the competition. Competition is a businesses must compete for customers, and their performance is not simply a function of their own action. Each firm's performance must be understood relative to the actions of its competitors. So organizations also frequently compete for the same employee and sometimes for supplier. Also, changes in competitors' strategies often affect the performance of the organization. The third is suppliers. So the suppliers is an organization by resources from suppliers. Therefore, partnership with the suppliers also affect firm performance. The Japanese earthquake and tsunami in the Fukushima affected virtually every company in the auto industry because electronic component made in northern Japan were unavailable for an extended period of time. It is important to develop close working and relationship with your suppliers. The external environment. The external environment, they have 6 environment. First is a labor force. The talent pool available to an organization permits to hire new employees, has a direct effect on organization performance. Living Social is an example of a fast-growing company that is recruiting thousands of new workers. The second is the shareholders. The owners of the corporation, known as shareholders, influence management. Most shareholders of large corporations are not involved in the day-to-day operation of the firm, but they do vote for the directors of the corporation. The board of directors is also generally not involved in the day-to-day management of the firm, but may hire of top management. The top manager reports to the board of directors. And if the organization does not perform well, the board can fire the manager and others. And the third is society. Our society, to a great extent, determines what acceptable business practices are. Individuals or various groups of stakeholders work to pressure businesses to make changes. For example, Pepsi has been pressured by Oxfam International to identify its sugar suppliers and investigate suspected land theft by those suppliers from poor farmers. And the fourth is a technology. Technology is a pure organization operate today as they did even a decade ago. Product not envisioned a few years ago are now being mass-produced, which creates new business opportunities. Businesses that don't keep up with technology, like BlackBerry, a one-time cell phone leader, lost business to those creating the latest business innovations, like Apple and Samsung. And the fifth is economic. Economic is a no organization has control over economic growth, inflation, interest rates, foreign exchange rates, and so on. The economy has a direct impact on the firm performance and profits. We always have to take the economy into account when performing strategic planning activities. And the sixth is a government. Government as a business owner or manager. You can just run your business any way you want to because the federal, state, and local governments develop the laws and regulation that determine what your business can and can't do so. Although you can try to influence the government, it clearly affects your business.
Strategic vision and mission. Strategy and the strategic planning process have a long history, and the businesses have adopted these principles to their own use. So I will discuss it later. What is strategy? Research has shown that HRM is an important strategic business function that influences the performance of both large and small firms. A strategy is a plan of action designed to achieve a particular set of objectives. So, strategic vision is what we want to accomplish, and strategies is a series of ways of using the mission to achieve the vision. A strategic mission defines the unique purpose of an organization's scope of operation. It's a high-level, long-term plan that an organization aims to achieve. A mission statement explains why the organization exists, its purpose, and what is served. Example of strategic vision is to be the world's most valued company to patients, customers, colleagues, investors, business partners, and the communities where we work and live. So, what is strategy? Strategy is about creating a coherent planned framework for employees to be hired, managed, and developed in ways that support an organization's long-term goals. Why is strategic human resource management important? So, strategic human resource management is the foundation of a strong business because when you've properly applied it, it ensures that the company as a whole is working together to reach its goals. This gives the business a greater chance to be succeed. Vision, missions, and objectives. A vision and a mission are two of the most critical components of any successful corporate strategy. Together, they provide the information necessary to focus every employee in the company's goals and objectives. How it will achieve these goals and the value it brings to the company and culture. It is very much focused on the present, not in the future. It thinks about or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. A vision statement details where the organization aspires to go. Having a vision provides a sense of purpose and direction for the business. Your vision will help you define your short and long-term goals and guide the decisions you make along the way. It also so vision also overcome roadblocks and hurdles. Challenges are inevitable when it comes to business or in the organization. When you run into a wall or a hurdle, you need to know which way to go. Vision provides you with something to look forward to and always work towards. It provides you with a reason to keep going even when the times get tough. A vision is a way to answer your own why of life. It gives you the reason for your actions, choices, hopes, and desires. So, these are the examples of vision based on my research and some organization or company. So, their vision is to develop an attitude of teamwork and quality in our day-to-day operations, to create an atmosphere that fosters challenges, fun, safety, and cleanliness, to seize opportunities that demonstrate excellent execution, a caring attitude, and a sense of urgency, to reduce waste by vigorously pursuing continuous improvement activities, and to commit to doing and to acting openly, equitably, and consistently in our pursuit of uncompromising quality. The mission statement lays out our expectations of what we're going to do in order to become the organization that we have envisioned. So what is mission? Mission is a statement, a summary that explains an organization goals and what it does. For a company, a mission statement may include goals, values, and ethics, as well as what it does for customers, employees, and in the community. Like if your goal is to develop a highly trained staff, your HR mission statement should reflect that as well. So some example of this is Southwest Airlines missions. Their mission is, we are committed to provide our employees a stable work environment with equal opportunity for learning and personal growth. Creativity and innovation are encouraged for improving the effectiveness of Southwest Airlines. Above all, employees will be provided the same concern, respect, and caring attitude within the organization that they are expected to share externally with every Southwest customer.
Putting the vision and mission together, let's use as an example the vision and mission statement of our university. The Surigao del Sur State University, its vision statement is as follows: a leading local university with widened academic perspectives that focus on attaining food security, supporting poverty alleviation, developing renewable, conserving natural environment. Setting objectives. After developing our vision and mission, the next step is to set objectives that flow from the mission to address strategic issue. Objective state what is to become accomplished in singular specific and measurable terms with a Target date. Example, to plus actant verb plus singular, specific measurable result plus target date. Honda to plus introduce plus 12 new Honda models for Chinese markets plus over 3 years beginning in 2013. Nike to plus increase plus annual revenues to 36 billion plus by 2017. Dell 2 plus cut plus cost by 4 billion plus by 2018. Types of strategies: cost leadership, differentiation, focused on niche. Cost leadership is the cost leader do everything that they can to lower the internal organization cost required to produce their products or services. Differentiation is these strategies attempts to create an impression of difference for the company's product or service in the mind of the customer. Focus on niche. With this strategy, the company focuses on a specific portion of a larger market. For instance, the company may focus on regional market, a particular product line, or a buyer group. How strategy affects HRM? There are several areas where the generic corporate strategy affects how we do our jobs within HR. Let's take a look at a few of the significant differences between generic strategy. Strategic human resources management involves a future-oriented process of developing and implementing HR programs that address unsolved business problems and directly contributes to major long-term business objectives. HR management was once largely an administrative function of focus on day-to-day responsibilities such as employee recruiting and selection, managing employee benefits.
HRM and cost leadership. So, what is cost leadership? Cost leadership is the strategy that focuses on making operations more efficient and cutting costs wherever possible. It may result from scale, scope efficiencies, tight overhead control, careful selection of customers, standardization, and automation. Cost leadership aims at having the lowest cost in a market. For example, Walmart. Walmart stores has a strategy of everyday low prices to attract customers. The idea of everyday low prices is to consistently offer products at an attractive cheaper rate than competitors rather than depending only on sales. Walmart has a large scale and efficient supply chain. They also source products from cheaper yet better domestic suppliers and from the low-wage foreign market. Therefore, the company can sell their items at low prices, profiting off thin margins but high volume. Next is HRM and differentiation. So, what is differentiation? Differentiation is creating a unique service or product offering either through good branding or strong internal skills. This strategy aims at offering something difficult to copy and is strongly associated with an organization's brand. So, how HRM promotes strategy? First, HR managers need to recruit, select, train, evaluate, and interact with employees differently based on different organizational strategies. Second, HR managers have to evaluate all of the organizational characteristics to determine what kinds of people to bring into the organization and then how to maintain those people once they have become a part of the company. Next, basics of organizational structure. Complexity. So what is complexity? Organizational complexity refers to how multiple entities of an organization differentiate from each other. A complex organization has a larger size of its organizational structure or has a higher number of resources in any division, project, or team.
Formalization is the degree to which jobs are standardized within the organizations, meaning the degree to which we have created policies, procedures, and rules that program the jobs of the employees. Like for example, a certain company they have a rules, regulations, and policies that follows by employee. Another example, even our classrooms, you don't have to cheat in the class. Centralizations, the third major component of organizational structure, is the degree to which decision making is concentrated within the organization. So, in case this, so in this case, controlization is a silent component which decision making is concentrated in a certain organization. Is the one best structure? No. The best structure is one that fits the firm's current competitive situation as well as its internal capabilities and that enables it to implement its strategies successfully. How does structure affect employee behavior? According to the result from the study, it shows that organization structure has an impact on the employee performance. A poor unorganized organization structures means that there will be low productivity, less delegation of work, no incentives provided, and centralized decisions. Here's a general answer to how structure affect our employees' behavior. First, how does structure affect HRM? The structure directly influences the company ability to attract and retain proper HR talent. Example, HR's organizational structures matters because it provides the framework to align resources with the priorities defined in your business strategy and embody the organization's culture. The structure directly impacts the company's ability to attract, engage, and retain top HR talent. Next, what is organizational culture? Organizational culture of the values, beliefs, and assumptions about appropriate behavior that members of an organization share. Like for example, of organizational culture include philosophy, values, expectations, and experience. So there have artifacts of organizational culture. There are 5 artifacts. First, heroes such as founders Steve Jobs of Apple, Sam Walton of Walmart, Herb Geller of Next. Stories of often about founders, others who have extraordinary efforts. Third, slogans such as McDonald's, QSCV, or quality service, cleanliness, and values. Fourth, symbols such as logos in plugs and pins, jackets, or paint, Cadillac, or cosmetics firm Mary Kay. Fifth, how culture controls employee behavior in organizations. Organizational culture is a very powerful force in controlling how people act within its boundaries. For instance, if the culture says that we value hard work and productivity, but an individual on one of the teams fails to do his or her part, then the other members of the team are quite likely to pressure the individual to conform to the culture. Since assumptions, values, and beliefs are so strong, all individuals will most likely conform to those behaviors that the culture values. For example, an organization whose culture values the initiatives of all its employees has a different climate than an organization in which decisions are made by the senior managers and enforced by their subordinates. Do you believe that the culture has the ability to cause you to change the way you act? Our culture shapes the way work and play, and it makes a difference in how we view ourselves and others. It affects our values, what we consider right and wrong. This is how the society we live and influences our choices, but our choices can also influence others and ultimately help shape our society. Have you ever done something to fit in, or have you ever done something you really didn't want to do because of peer pressure? Yes, I have done something that I really don't want to do because of peer pressure. Example, I encourage my friends to fight or bully someone so that I can get back at that person. Doesn't peer pressure control most people at least sometimes? Think about it, the way you act as part of your family, and then compare that to the way you act as a student at school, with a group of your friends, or as an employee at work. Chances are quite high that you act differently within these different cultures. We all act to conform, for the most part, to the culture that we happen to be in at that point in time, because the culture's values push us to act the way. That's all.